Hey guys, and happy Wednesday. So for today's DIY, I'm going to be using this pie pan that I got at Goodwill and this little cardboard bucket that I got from a Michael's grab bag. I'm going to take them outside, spray paint them white, and put a little coating of silver over that. But while that's drying, I'm going to show you the colors that I use for my galvanizing method. A few of you have asked me for it, and these are the colors that I use. I just use black, pewter gray, and silver, white, and this deep brown color that I got at Dollar General, and it was $1, and it is the perfect shade of brown. It kind of dries like a rusty color, so it works out perfectly. I kind of got it one day when I needed brown. It didn't really work out for brown, but it worked out great for rust. So again, so it's black, pewter gray, white, silver, and then if you're going to add that like rusty look to it, then that deep brown, or if you can find like a rust color that you like, that works great too. So once I get my galvanizing palette together, I usually use a sponge, like a makeup sponge, but I couldn't find one, so I'm just using a little sponge brush that I found, and I think this is my daughter's based on the colors that are on there, but whatever, it works out just fine. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pewter gray and I'm just going to go ahead and dab that on there, and I'm just going to do the whole piece like that, both pieces, and that is, the first step. That's what I usually do. Usually I'll start off with white, but because I spray painted it, I eliminated that step and I didn't think about that when I put my palette together. Um, but for today's challenge that I'm a part of, it is the Look for Less challenge. And guys, this is one of my favorite challenges. It's hosted by Yami, the Latina next door, and her co-host this month is Corey over at Desert DIY. And their channels are great. I mean, you just have to check them out and see what I'm talking about because their stuff is amazing. And I'll definitely put their links in my description box along with the playlist for the challenge. So definitely go check all the ladies out. I know they're going to come up with some awesome stuff. And yeah, thank you so much for hosting. And if you're coming over here from the playlist, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And for all of you who are returning, thank you so much. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my rust or my deep brown, and I started off dabbing it on there like I usually do, but it was just showing up too bright and like chunky, I guess. And in the picture, in my inspiration piece, it was more solid and kind of brushed on there. So I switched over to this sponge that I got it's just a regular like dish sponge that I got from the Dollar Tree. And I started like smearing it on there. And I did that to both pieces. And the bucket looks a little bit different than the pan, obviously. So I had to dull down the pan a little bit because the paint kind of it just looks different because they're two different, materials. So I had to kind of dull down my pan a little bit more to match. So I just took my pewter gray and my silver and kind of mixed them up, and that's what I use to kind of dull down the colors and just make them match better. And I just go through, sorry for the background noise. Um, and I just went through and touched up anything that, didn't look right. And next thing that I did was I took my hot glue, and I'm sorry you guys that I'm not in you know, on camera the right way. I had to pick it up and it's just kind of hard to do it with it sitting on the table. So I took my hot glue gun and I made two little rings around the bucket. Because in the inspiration piece, there's like these parts that look like they're welded together, and that was the best thing that I could think of. So I just did that, and then I took my pewter gray and silver paint combination, and I just, dabbed it over the hot glue to kind of make it blend better. And I touched up any pieces or any parts of the pieces that were not the right color, or just didn't look right. And I just touched everything up at this point. And again, I'm sorry that, it wasn't a good camera shot there for you, but I ended up, I thought I was in the shot, but clearly I was not, so I apologize. So then the next thing that I do after I touch up all the paint is I just take some hot glue and I glue the pan on technically what is now the top of the bucket, even though it's actually the bottom of the bucket. And that is it. Here's my inspiration piece, and here's my piece. Let me know if you guys like it. Until next time, be the reason someone smiles. Bye, guys.